Today I'm going to talk about the sides, revisit the sides. Now I've shaped this a little more, this side, and you can see that the wedge in the center, you can see that wedge, and on this side it's quite thin going right across, except for at the end that you're going to bend towards the bee sting. It's opposite, where the wedge is on this side and it's thinner on this side. Now the reason for this is that when you bend this now, it's going to bend offset because of that. So she'll bend upwards like on a nice incline. Now on the bee sting, because the bee sting bends the other way, you want the offset to go down to follow the bee sting. More importantly is where this wedge is and what a wedge actually is. I mean, a wedge is like a wood wedge. The top is big, the bottom's small. You hit the top, 100 pounds at the top is spread across 100 pounds on the thin edge, and that's what splits the wood. I gotta tell you that these plates are a note. This is an A note, the bottom plate. And the top plate here is a G note. Now why those notes? It's intrinsic to the shape, first of all. I can't really change the note. I can change the tone of the note, but not the notes. The reason that this is an A and the other one's a G is the G is the lowest note that the top has to produce. The bottom is an A, it sits in the middle, it's middle A, sits in the middle of the piano. You have notes going in all directions on either side of it. Now, the density of the back is about 5 times that of the spruce, of maple here. When you put this side on here, say, when the side goes on here, say, right here on the top plate, right here, there's a node. There's one in the center, there's one here. And these wedges appear opposite to where the node is. Well, the reason for that is because this wedge now, the vibration that's at the top of it is going to be at the bottom. Say a G at the top will become a very high G at the bottom, to a factor of 5. Probably the same density difference of the two plates. So to compensate for that, when the top brings out the note here and follows right across, this wedge picks up that vibration, sends it to the bottom plate, only now as a 5 octaves higher, or 2 octaves, or 3, whatever it is, higher. Depends on this wedge. You can adjust that. Now you have one on each side, and opposite, like I say, all the harmonic points on this violin. You can take a tuning fork and they all, just the harmonic points. So, also when you bend this, the bottom arc is tighter than the top arc. It's smaller. So the bottom plate on this edge here, on this edge, is smaller than the top plate. To a degree, that's why it's an A ringing off and not a G. If it was a bit bigger, it would be a G, but it's an A. I'm going to take this violin here. This is an old violin, came to me a couple years ago. I'll have a video on this one actually, because it's quite interesting. It's a, if you can believe it, Marcus Stainer. Jacob is his brother. Supposedly brother. And this is dated 1675. It's got a straight, it has some of the arcs on it that I'm talking about here. But what I want to show you here is that that's my block. Anyways, what I do is I glue these sides on before the blocks are put in. I seat the entire, I mean this one's from the top because this is the way I got it. I don't have a choice. But I would build from the back, put all the sides in, glue them in, just glue at the bottom of them to set them in place. Once they're set in place, sorry about the unpreparedness of me, but it's the nature of myself. Never expect what I'm supposed to do. Anyways, I have a block that sits in here that glues these together, and the corner block all at the same time. I'll show you that. I finally got a damn thing. Now, I think I covered everything here. It keeps the balance, 5-to-1. That is pretty well my explanation of why I wedge the sides. Excuse me, it's just a normal cough, nothing serious. Again, that pretty well covers the sides. I cut those out with my razor, with a razor blade. This is the scraper I use. Now, I got this 30 years ago. I got 2 of them actually. And by just putting it on my grinding stone, and just going a quick pass, always on the same size, always on the bevel, it always creates the edge here, the scraper edge. And they last a long time. And when sharp, you can do a lot of work with this. But you have to really carve it pretty well to its end. Otherwise, you'll spend weeks taking off a little bit at a time. You've got to get there quick. And then use this later. Other than that, I think I'll let that go. And my next video is going to be quite interesting. Until then, thanks for watching, and again, these are just my own ideas, my own concepts. Again, you can see this carved if you go to artwanted.com/artparis, and I took pictures daily of it, and the top. Anyways, till we see you again.